You got to make it a sweet smell of success wherever we are. People say, what's success? Doing better than what we're doing today.
Birdie, has he always been this way? Has he always been an optimist, a can-do fella?
Always. That's what attracted me to him in the beginning.
You thought,
always.
This guy is going to do it for himself?
This guy's got something I'd like to have, basically. An attitude, always happy-go-lucky. Even in high school, he was always happy. He never had a frown on his face. And I liked that.
You know, I didn't realize that you yourself are a very good and emotional speaker. And I read about the last Free Enterprise weekend here, that they wrote about it in the Charlotte paper, and it says here, finally, Dexter introduced Birdie Yager, his wife 25 years and mother of his 7 children, and Mrs. Yager presented a highly emotional speech before reintroducing Dexter for the main address. And you said something that I wonder if you'd explain. You explained that often the demands of a career as a full-time Amway salesperson are not understood by workers outside the corporation. You remember that? Can you explain that a little bit?
People who are not in business for themselves do not understand people who are. What they have to do, what emotional growth they have to go through to become good business people, and that's what I had to go through because I was raised in a mill family. Mm-hmm. And my dad came home every day at 4:30, and I had to get out of that particular attitude and realize that I was never going to live like that, that I was going to have a flexible time schedule, and with 7 children and trying to live according to his schedule, it had to take some real growth, attitude growth.
You wrote, right. You said, frequently the pursuit of economic success in Amway leads to social differences between friends and relatives. The ascending Amway executive, you said, will meet new friends and become part of a new corporate family. I don't see my own biological family sometimes in a year. We don't have anything in common. They don't see things the same way that I do in Amway, and I have to learn to live with that.
That's true, I did. We don't have a lot in common because...
You and your own family?
Me and my own family.
Not your youngsters, but the folks back in Rome, New York.
Brothers, right. Because as we started to build the business, we had to be in the business all the time. We had to... In other words, some people will say, well, why does this business have to consume you? Well, I have to look back to other positions he had in work, and they consumed us too. Every job he's ever had or whatever he did consumed us. He was selling cars, and cars consumed us. We thought of cars, we talked of cars, we slept cars, we ate cars, or we didn't eat. Mm-hmm. And so I realized that anything that a man does for a living, the whole family is consumed with it. Mm-hmm. And some people who are not in their own business or consumed with their job and they just want to get by every day, they don't understand the person who is that way.
You said, God was telling me what I was supposed to know. You got to get your act together at home so you can apply all the benefits so you can enjoy all the benefits that this business has to offer. You said, there's something about this business that no one can put the finger on because we can't put our fingers on God. Some of us would like to think that we could totally explain God, to analyze everything, to come up with a good intellectual answer for everything. Then you said, I want every one of you people to have the kind of partner I have. People say that things don't rub off, but things certainly do sink in. I had to learn that Dexter was a workaholic and really loved what he was doing. He's the greatest person I've ever known. When I look at him, I see Jesus. I want you to listen to him. I know that you'll see Jesus, too. Now, come on.
No, I don't mean the physical form of Jesus. I mean the spirit of Jesus. He was so loving and giving.
You really feel that way about your fellow?
Mm-hmm.
When you see him, you see...
I see what Jesus stood for and what he believed in. His giving and loving spirit.
Yeah, but they were going to drive the money changers out of the temple.
That's true, and then he'll do that too if he gets mad enough. I see the principles that Jesus lived by in him.
But there's much more preoccupation with money and worldly goods in Amway than there is in Christianity.
Oh, I know, but Jesus isn't the Christianity today. Jesus spoke, most of the time he spoke was about money.
Oh?
He gave many
That's true.
business principles.